Hi, I'm Charlie, and welcome to another episode of Plugged In with EirGrid. Today I'm joined by Kate, an engineer working with system operations in EirGrid, and she'll be talking about the effects that storms have on the grid and how we prepare for them. Thanks for joining us, Kate. So firstly, what exactly do EirGrid do?
EirGrid are Ireland's transmission system operator, and we operate the power system in real time from the National Control Centre. In there we manage the stability of the system by balancing generation with real-time demand for electricity, and we do that by ensuring frequency and voltage are stable at all times. We also would manage planned outages on the system, ensuring that transmission maintenance and upgrades get carried out safely. We would also prepare and plan for various scenarios on the system, including storms.
So why do EirGrid need to prepare for storms?
So the high voltage transmission system is essentially the motorway for electricity around the country. It provides electricity directly to large energy users, as well as the lower voltage electricity distribution system, which is operated by ESB Networks. The distribution system then provides electricity to residential and business customers. So it's our job to ensure that power is always available to the distribution system. So we need to prepare for storms due to the potential disruption to power lines and substations around the system.
What kind of risks would you consider for storms?
So the risks that we would consider are transient faults on the lines, which are faults that happen for a fraction of a second, longer term damage, which means that lines could be out for a number of days, system-wide risks due to the impact of generators connected to the system, and of course safety risks to the public due to any damage on the system.
And what do you mean by a fault?
So during a storm, faults could be caused by wind blowing debris onto the line or causing the individual overhead lines to clash, lightning striking the line, the strength of the wind causing damage to the structures that support lines. So we also have protection systems on lines that automatically trip when they sense a fault, and this is to protect the system from further damage. ESB Networks carry out restoration works on the system, and we engage closely with ESB Networks to let them know of maintenance work needed around the transmission system. Our first priority is protecting the safety of the public and those working on the lines, and then it's to protect the integrity of the system by keeping it stable and secure.
And how does EirGrid prepare for storms?
So we have extensive plans that are activated when a storm is approaching. We're constantly monitoring the weather and get forecasts directly from Met Éireann. For severe events, the National Emergency Coordination Group, the NECG, will be activated by the government, and EirGrid are part of that group. So our key objective is to ensure the power system remains stable for homes and businesses across the country. We often take a defensive approach when it comes to storms, and some of the actions that we would take include calling lines back into service that have been out for maintenance, staffing up the control centre so that people are available to analyse and respond to faults as they happen, calling on additional generation in case it's difficult to move power around the system, and also so that it's there in case any other generation is lost and we need a replacement.
Have recent storms caused any issues for the transmission system?
In 2024, there were 36 orange and 8 red weather warnings, including updated warnings. Each one of these had to be considered and prepared for to varying degrees. The recent storm Eowyn was particularly serious and caused widespread disruption around the country. This type of red weather warning across the whole country is very unusual. So Storm Eowyn brought gusts of up to 184 kilometres per hour, and this caused 103 faults on the transmission system, which is an unprecedented amount. This was probably the worst storm the transmission system saw since the 1960s, and as you can imagine, there was a lot less transmission in place back then. Some other notable storms that happened recently were Storm Dara in December, Storm Ophelia in 2017, and Storm Darwin in 2014. Despite these challenges, though, the transmission system has remained stable and secure, and that's thanks to constant maintenance works and recent reinforcements on the network. We learn from every storm and take these experiences to be more resilient for the future.
Thanks, Kate. And make sure to follow for more interesting content on Ireland's electricity system.